What is happening, Cigars Daily Nation? I hope you're having an amazing day. Lord knows I am. I'm smoking a Viva La Vida, baby, and I'm pairing it with a cup of black coffee. Now, this is a great pairing, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, but I thought I could make this even a little bit better if I just sprinkled a little bit of chaos into all of our morning by putting out this video, a topic that is a sort of controversial in the cigar world, which is a weird thing to say because cigars are not something that are like, there's super controversial stuff within our community. So here's the topic. Is it okay to smoke inside a walk-in humidor? Now, I want to ask you, before I even go on, put your comment down below with your opinion. Want to hear that. And please do it respectfully, because I'm going to work to be as respectful as I can in this video, sharing my opinion with you. But this is what I see. You go to a cigar shop in your neighborhood, you might not even be familiar with this if you're brand new to cigars. But you walk into that shop, and maybe inside the humidor, I kid you not, there are chairs and ashtrays and a table and people sitting in there and smoking cigars. I've seen that at lots of cigar shops. And then adversely, you go into other cigar shops and there's a sign on the humidor door that says, no smoking in the humidor. So who's right and who's wrong in this? What I'm going to take you through is what I've seen in cigar shops and cigar factories and basically the entire cigar industry in the last decade of working in this. And so I'm going to bring you guys inside right now. This is from an episode of Cigars Daily Live, which, by the way, is our weekly live show. It's about 90 minutes long. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend. Monday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's Arizona time for you East Coast folks out there. But it's 6 p.m. and we get together. It is a viewer comment-driven episode where we spend time. It's like an online cigar lounge. We just bust each other's balls and have an absolute blast. So here's a clip from that and me answering this viewer comment about smoking inside a humidor.
Thomas Alexander. Tim, I saw some Instagram comments criticizing you for smoking in the humidor of your video with Matt Booth. What are your thoughts on that?
I was hoping that someone would ask about this, and I, damn it, have been just thinking really hard about whether or not to make a video response to this. Because yes, I saw them too. I would love to share my thoughts with you. All right, so let me take you through this. There's two sides of this. The first one is responding to critics. The second one is what I think about smoking in the humidor. First of all, I see different types of criticisms out there.
Mm-hmm.
If there's constructive criticism, I'm all about it. If there's just negative criticism, especially if it's malinformed criticism, and it's just like, I don't like that guy because people with big noses are stupid. That's a stupid criticism that doesn't make any sense. I tend to just want to ignore that and let it go, because engaging in it is the kind of insanity that doesn't build my knowledge or skill or learning, and it doesn't make that person any better because no one's going to change their opinion. So I try to disengage from stupidity. I try to engage in criticism that's valuable. That's my goal. However, the not smoking in the humidor thing I've seen for a long time. There is this perception among some cigar smokers that smoking in the humidor is like a sin. And this is perpetuated by cigar shop owners who say, oh my, we're not going to smoke in the humidor because it's bad for the cigars. Now, the reason they started doing this is because they know that there is a tiny portion of cigar smokers who think that this is a reprehensible act. They won't do it. And I'll admit, if I had a wooden desktop humidor, I would not open it and blow large swaths, large plumes or rings even of smoke into that humidor and close the lid. I wouldn't do it. It sounds like a bad idea, especially when you say it that way. And so, of course, if you were starting up a cigar shop, you'd be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't smoke in the humidor here, man. But at the end of the day, here's what you need to know. In my mind, the don't smoke in the humidor thing is a bit of a myth. And here's why. There are different types of cigar shops all over America of every kind, shape, and form with all kinds of different humidors. Before I had another social media platform. I worked for another cigar company. That cigar company doesn't even exist anymore, so I'll talk about them. They had a chain of brick and mortar shops that were literally retail places, retail spots in a strip mall where when you open the front door, you walked into the lounge and humidor. It was all one space in about 900 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's arguably not the best way to do it when your exterior door opens into your humidor. That's a little questionable. But there were guys smoking in there around the cigars all day long, and it was never a problem there. Now, that's just one example, and maybe not even a good one, especially since the guy who owned that company is in prison for the rest of his life. But he's not in prison for having people smoking in the humidor.
Are you sure?
But he should be.
But he should be. That son of a bitch. No, what I really see is this. When you go to cigar factories, there aren't these sacred spaces where they're like, no, don't go smoke in the aging room. By God, Jove, there are cigars in there.
It's the holy of holies.
It's the holy of, and if the smoke touches the cigars, their faces will melt off, like at the end of Crusaders of the Lost Ark. They'll just be like, "Blah." I don't think that it works like that. I've been to a half a dozen cigar factories in America and in Nicaragua and in Honduras, and I never saw a holy space. And that includes where the pilones are. And I would expect you could smoke where the pilones are.
Yeah.
Because it already smells like cat piss in there.
Yep.
Because they're heating up the leaf to release the ammonia and get all
The smoke would be more like an incense.
the
for
smoke
it anyway.
would definitely help. Where the bales are, where the bales of leaf are, they
Mhm.
definitely smoke in those rooms. And they'll smoke in those rooms to test out different leaves and see if they're ready. So they're literally testing the leaf in there. They're also smoking in the aging rooms. If you guys remember, we literally rolled up in the How Cigars Are Made videos, we rolled up churritos and smoked them inside Placencia's room where they aged the leaf for 10 years before making the elite top shelf Alma Fuerte. So they're like, these sacred spaces don't exist in the place where people arguably know more about cigars than anywhere on the planet. And we've created that. There are a lot of things that are cigar, I want to say, points of cigar etiquette that are just made up. They're just totally made up by aficionados. Like lighting a cigar with a match is the only way to light a cigar, or a soft flame is the only way to light a cigar. You can't do this. You shouldn't do that. There's like very few things that are really that way. And you can't smoke in the humidor is one of them. Now, that being said, I authentically don't go smoke in the humidor here.
Yeah.
I have no problem holding a lit cigar and walking through the humidor, or even stopping and having a conversation with someone in the humidor. If you visited me here at the Cigars Daily HQ, I may have brought a cigar into the humidor and had a 3 or 5 minute conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything I worry about, but there's no chairs in there. There's no seating in there. I'll walk through. It's not a problem. I do the same thing at my house at home. I'll walk through with a lit cigar. My house, done nothing negative to my house. So there you go. That's my full tutorial on smoking inside a humidor. If where you live, the shop is please don't smoke in the humidor. It's really bad for the cigars. You should absolutely humor them. You should absolutely be respectful of that rule. When I say humor them, I don't mean pity them you poor stupid idiot, dumb fart face. You don't know crap about it. You're not like that. What you want to do is be here's a guy who's trying to do it as well as he can, and I respect that. And that's a good thing. And Terrence, you even said you walk through your house with a cigar?
Every now and again. I tried not to, just because my roommate doesn't like the smell very much. But yeah, every now and again, if I have a lit cigar from the drive home, I'll just walk straight to the patio.
His roommate works for the FDA, so it's a complicated living situation.
It's head
of the FDA. So that's tough. They share a condo together. They split the rent. Okay, let's keep cruising. I want some more comments. I'm so glad that he asked about that. I know that tirade was way too long.
That was a long one.
I'm in a tirade mood tonight, so there might be some tirades on this episode.
Let's get
controversial.
We'll get to 3 more comments.
Yeah, if you got to walk in humidor, you should be able to go and smoke in there.